Violet here, and Happy New Year. This is my planner from 2023. So I'm gonna show you, how the year has been, and then we'll talk about goals for next year. This is my planner chunk. It's pretty thick this year, and I have to say that my planners look so silly next to each other on the shelves because they don't sit flat at all. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a flip through of this past year. I did an okay job keeping up with it. I mostly, enjoyed decorating and planning ahead, and then coming back in and adding Polaroid photos for most of the weeks. And I think that this next year I want to be a bit more intentional and think about almost like a vision board for each week ahead. Like really think about the energies and the intentions I have, leading up to that week. And as we get to the end of the year, you will see that I did way less in my planner basically. But this is my planner for 2024. So I'm going to show you some of my, goals for this next year and some of the things that I've been thinking about. Now, I've already started planning out and making lists and really thinking ahead. So I've been thinking about the rhythm of each week. I've been thinking about different goals. I've been thinking about the wheel of the year and my feelings for each season. I've come up with a whole editing plan too for my novel, which I'll tell you about. But here is my list for my 2024 goals. So I think that my most challenging goal on this list, and I'll tell you about all of them, but my most challenging goal, just simply because it's gonna take the most amount of time and really require me to be consistent throughout the year, is reading 100 books in 2024. So I'm thinking of this as being 2 books a week. And my mind right now, of course, this isn't going to be exact or perfect, but just sort of on average, I'm thinking about reading 1 fiction book and 1 nonfiction book a week. So I've been checking out a whole lot of nonfiction books from this incredible esoteric library that my husband's working at. So it's the Steiner Library, and I've been, oh my gosh, finding so many amazing things and really blowing through them. I've also been blowing through fantasy novels, so I'm really hoping this will be possible. And as you can see, I'm creating this just freehanding these bookshelves. Each one has 25 books on it when it's completed, so that'll create the total for 100. And each shelf says fiction, nonfiction, fiction, nonfiction. So my thought is that I'll go in and write in the titles of each book and maybe come up with a color code, something. I don't know if it's the rating of the book or the subject matter or something, but color the books in as I go to keep track of the goal. So I also have a goal to edit my novel this year, and my thought is that I'm going to mostly edit in the first half of the year, and the second half will be more so about planning ahead for my next NaNoWriMo novel. So in this way, I write about 1 novel a year, but it won't all be the same one. It'll kind of be on a cycle, so I can have a little break also in between editing. And actually not work on the previous year's book for editing, but work on the one from 2 years ago. So I haven't yet edited my Child in the Museum book, which is my children's novel that I wrote my first year of NaNoWriMo. So that is what I'll be working on editing this year. This past NaNoWriMo, I wrote Fantasia, which is a fantasy magical realism novel, and so I'm not going to be editing. I'm going to take this whole year off from that one basically, and then edit it next year. So my goal is to have the editing process actually done by the end of Camp NaNoWriMo in April this year, and then kind of figure out am I submitting this anywhere, or I'm probably just self-publishing this, so kind of figure that out in between, then start planning the next one for NaNoWriMo. And then, yeah, that is my plan for the year. I think that the month after NaNoWriMo, December, I will sort of take easy, essentially, this year, and just sort of brainstorm for any ideas for the future, and then start it over again. So then I'll start editing Fantasia after a year break from it. So hopefully that cycle makes sense, but that's how I'm gonna hopefully get about 1 novel done a year and yet still have enough space from it to be able to edit. Yeah, so my first goal I have written on here also is 12 art pieces this year, one a month. So I've got some canvases, and I've got an idea of a painting series that'll have 7 paintings. And then I also have sort of a loose idea for 5 watercolors, but that'll come after the painting series. I think I'm going to focus on the painting series first and try to average about 1 a month, and that'll be really good. And, well, my ruler is covering this, but I've got self-published Child in the Museum. That's the goal this year. Oh, and then launching expansion packs and a board game. Oh, surprise, a board game. A board game is coming. I actually surprised myself and already launched the expansion packs, like, since I made this list. So, hey, that's good. I can already check something off. Planning the fantasy series, I touched on that a little bit. That'll be the next NaNoWriMo project. And lastly, I'm going to start also working on a tarot course. This will be much more in the future, but I'm going to start making some videos about that. So not publishing them yet, but yeah, there's something in the works there. So yeah, I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. I'm sure that I'm going to come up with more goals for 2024, but that's kind of like the big ones I thought of, less so the like habit goals. But yeah, please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.